and see which way the momentum swings.
Yes, indeed we will. And here you go, folks. This is Socke. He is in the Red Trunks from Team Alternate Attacks, and he is playing Protoss to the north of the Zelnaga Caverns versus his opponent, the one and only DDE from Sixjax Gaming. He is in the Blue Trunks. He is playing Terran to the southwest.
And I'd probably expect DDE to open up with some 2 Rex pressure play. I feel that the map's very small and you are able to punish any greedy opponents. And on the same hand, I expect Socke to open up with a 3-gate expand because that's kind of nice and safe, ready to accept any 2-gate pressure.
Oh yes. Here comes the gas right here from DDE. No big crazy builds initially, and that pressure was scary, but as I said, I think maybe it was throwing caution to the wind, I feel. He was making a prediction. The prediction did happen to be right, but it was well defended, and I think the DDE did not execute that correctly. I still think that Nexus could have gone down, but he opened himself up for a vicious counter-attack one way or the other in that game.
Yeah, it's definitely a build from the training ground within Sixjax, and unfortunately he's tried it twice in this matchup really. It's some Curious Plateau right away, and then again just now, so it didn't really work out either time, so I'm surprised he did use it a second time. And I doubt we'll see that again, as the success rate is pretty poor.
No, I don't think so. I can see exactly what he was trying to do. A Tech Lab coming down right here for that. He's got 1 gas. This could mean a number of different things. And in the meantime, his opponent with a Cybernetics core, it could not be more standard if Socke tried.
Yeah, and are we going to see the second barracks go down? That's a little bit late if it was going to go down. So it doesn't look like he is going to. He's just going to go straight into Marauder and into Concussive Shells. Looks like it'll probably be a 1 barracks expansion now. And in the meantime, we only have 1 gas so far for Socke. He'll wait until the SCV is left or being killed, and then we'll throw down additional gateways.
That we will. Here we go. There's another gas being picked up right here, and that is... It might have been scouted. He picked, like, possibly the worst possible time. There's a tiny little weird cloud thing above it, and who knows if he actually saw that. Whatever the case, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. I would think Command Center coming down, and I suppose it will be indicative as to whether or not he believes that Socke will go for some kind of 4-gateway pressure. Zealot on the way up right now. He takes a Marine quite nicely. And of course, no concussive shell means that Zealot gets out. And brilliant scouting action right there from Socke once again.
Yeah, it takes full shield damage and a lot of HP as well, but manages to get in the probe, which was the mission of that Zealot and probe, hand in hand to get inside.
It's an escort, ladies and gentlemen, and it did a perfect job of doing just that. In comes Socke's really aggressive approach once again. I'm liking this from Socke an awful lot, trying to catch DDE out of position, getting some brilliant scouting information, and this is going to be, of course, 3 barracks right now, but that Stalker's doing a good job of harassing DDE's SCVs, who has had to pull a ton off that minimal. It's nowhere near saturated, and hey, free kills!
I wouldn't be surprised if Socke just pulls down a pylon and starts warping in a lot of units, because he can see that there's hardly anything there. He is going to go ahead and expand though, take the ladder option and just play nice and safe. Meanwhile, the orbital command will go up shortly on this command center, and we might even see a bunker in anticipation for something like this, but SCV is going to escape. It's going to escape the base and will be able to go ahead and scout.
It's out there, ladies and gentlemen, and it might be able to find something tasty. We'll find out one way or the other shortly. Twilight Council on the way up right here for Socke. This could mean anything.
It could mean anything. It could be Blink, it could be DTs after expanding, throwing out a weird timing with it, may catch him off guard. And he is bringing down a probe now. We'll most likely try to warp in some units here, and we'll definitely try to keep him inside the base for as long as possible, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. He's just going to use the pylon at the south here to scout that expansion out.
If that actually stays there, does he see the expansion? No, that is unfortunate. He might have if he just waited down the bottom. He would have got an expansion timing. It's going to be DTs.
And where's that SCV? It is there. It did scout the base. The natural going down, but did he see, or not? Well, of course he didn't, but will he go in to find out that DT shrine? If he does, it's very open to do so.
He can do it. He can do it, but he's got to go now, and here he goes. He will scout the expansion timing. Those 3 zealots are a threat. They're moving to intercept. They must deny this. He's got probes to do it as well. Hallucination coming out right here for Socke's scout. Can he get past? Oh, Socke is daring him to try.
And already, that because just Socke's using those zealots in such a way to defend, look at that, engineering bay and bunker goes down. nice and safe. Just almost predicts what's going to happen simply because of the way the Zealots were trying to look to deny that scout.
They were being extremely obvious. Like, we do not want you in here under any circumstances. So it is a very smart idea to get that engineering bay out, start to work on a missile turret, which he will do, and he'll place it, no doubt, in a perfect position to deny that. And it's great. I mean, this is a good defensive position, and Xel'Naga's perfect for denying that kind of DT harassment, unless, of course, it gets warped in with a hallucination.
Into the main again. He doesn't look like he'll be able to cancel Stim this time around, but here comes the hallucinated Phoenix, and in comes it, and it's too late, DDE. You know it. The pylon's there, and in come the DTs.
He knows what's coming. That's a single Dark Templar warped in right there. There's the scan to shut it down. The second one coming in. The scan also gets the second one. Can Socke get out of there in time? He can't. Shut down, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, what a great scan. And he also has 95 energy saved up on the natural 2. So any more DTs are going to get shut down. There's a turret there. Absolutely solid defense.
It's brilliant. It really is. DDE handled that like a boss, and indeed, that's going to put him in a great position. 2 free DTs for the price of a scan. That is a bargain in any country.
And here we get in any country. And the DT comes in, doing damage though. 2 kills. It will back off though. And it's looking pretty good for DDE now. It's got a nice advantage, a nice unit count, and look at that great counterattack. Saving up scans at the same time, 120 energy, 80 energy on the main.
Not falling for it.
Not falling for it.
We've
He's going to
seen
go
it
up
happen.
there. He's going to stim. He's going to push with everything he's got, and he's going to scan multiple times depending on how many DTs are warped in.
And you know what? He's going to do so much damage. It is currently 36 army supply to 22. Zealot charge will not be done by the time DDE goes in. These DTs are moving around the area, and of course they will look, I would imagine, to defend. Archon being pushed out of the way there by those sentries. Will that make the difference? However, I certainly do not think so. DDE spreading out deliberately to try and minimize the amount of AoE damage that's coming in from that Archon that is crashing down the left flank of that force. DDE being pushed back once again. Probes pulled on purpose to prevent this. In comes a Dark Templar, which is immediately shut down by the scan. DDE remains alive and continues to micro incredibly well. The Archon blasting its way through. 9 kills, 10 kills. Archon says no.
Pretty good attack and pretty good defense by Socke there. Manages to hold on. Does lose a few probes in that. 13 actually in total, but 41 probes, 41 SCVs, doing okay now. Has lost tech advantage because there was starport and factory out now, and looking around, he doesn't really have any tech aside from that. DT Shrine warping in more units now, and he could go for a counterattack, but not against that solid SimCity wall.
Oh no, that's incredibly well defended. I wouldn't want to go anywhere near that if I happen to be Socke right now. I'll be looking to try and avoid it somehow, maybe try and deny the third while I take my own, and that's exactly, by the looks of it, what's happening. He's going to clean those rocks out, and then I think he's going to start applying pressure to prevent DDE from expanding. He knows he can't fight him on his own turf, but if DDE decides to expand, and of course, needless to say, it's DDE, he has no tanks, so that kind of defensive coverage that is usually found on Xel'Naga, even sometimes against Protoss, because tanks are just that damn good, is not going to be present in this case.
Despite Socke, you know, not really using the DTs too much, he's quite okay in this game, to be honest. Because, I mean, he's got Zealot charge, he's got a handful of Zealots, 2 Archons now.
Yeah, I mean, he's turning the DTs into Archons.
I mean, the expansion from DDE is a little bit late. He's now moving over with the starport now. Is he going to go ahead and build a Raven again? He's done this almost every game to maximize his damage output and minimize the Protoss Stalker army, but there really isn't that many Stalkers in this composition.
No, that Raven is not going to help at all. There's a single Stalker, and that is, of course, wasted gas. Infernal Pre-Igniter on the way, reverting back to what he knows, but in comes the charge. Socke ramming his way through these defenses once again, and now he will assault this incredibly dangerous position. This is Helm's Deep right here for DDE. This is the Orcish horde he must hold off, and the question is, will he be able to do it?
Yeah, he doesn't want to really engage here. He can slow down the production of that command center, maybe force a cancel, but that's a long shot, really. He does not want to engage here whatsoever, though.
Socke, the thing is, he tastes blood. He wants more. He must attack the Uruk-hai of Socke right here. Going for it. He takes a freebie in terms of that. Goes for the supply depot. Takes a little bit of damage in the process. It's still a really hard position to assault.
Indeed it is, and he's slowly losing Zealot count, and now that orbital command is finished, and he knows it's going to an orbital command 2. He's trying to pick it off. Oh my god!
That's risky, but you know what? It might just work, and it is not It's down finally, and now that's really made a hole in that wall.
Key force field there that trapped off a lot of stuff, and now more units are being warped in from Socke. He's on the verge of winning. SCVs are pulled off. Can he win the SHOUTcraft Invitational 2? He's been forced off. All the Zealots are dead, and now Sixjax DDE on a crucial counterattack.
Yes, he needs to do it well. The problem is reinforcements are streaming in. He did get an Infernal Pre-Ignite, a Hellion up, but now Socke's actually switched out of Zealots primarily into Stalkers. The Hellions will not help even if he decides to build any. He's gonna build one anyway, just for the sake of it, but Socke is not willing to finish this. To be fair, I hardly blame him. He really actually does not have a supply advantage here at all in terms of his army.
He actually has to switch over to Stalkers now. Blue Flame completed. He noticed that on the Hellions, Zealots will melt, as we saw Bling die to that earlier on in the tournament. So he's switching up very nicely now, getting a third base up. His probe count's nice and healthy, 55 versus 49. He's getting 10-power archives up as well. Let's have a look what DDE's doing. He's in the back now, adding more Hellions. Similar army composition, pulling out that secret weapon, that secret composition. He's also got 2-2 in the making now. Combined the 2-2 with the rest of his army, it's looking pretty good. But the thing is, does Socke have a good enough economy to play through this
My
game?
concern is that while he has a really great army supply advantage, a lot of that is invested, at least 12 supply invested in Hellions that are going to prove to not be all that useful. Yes, there are some Zealots in the composition, but it's primarily Stalkers and Archons. I'll have to see whether or not DDE decides to go for it anyway, or waits maybe for more Zealots to come into the composition. He will go for it. A couple of Hellions at the front to try and draw Socke out of position for an assault right here on the third base, and it will die.
Yeah.
Eventually it will die. There we go.
Misclick.
Yes, it is dead. 3 seconds after it was supposed to be, but it is regardless dead.
Trading expansions. Loving it in this great game on Xel'Naga cameras, and now Socke is going to go ahead and take the gold. Needs to gain map control as well. A probe is going to go down, no expansion on the gold, and is going to go check the back right. At the same time, DDE checking the left for an expansion as well. Great map awareness from every aspect of their game right now. And what is he doing in the background? +2 armor. Not going to really help out these Stalkers too much, to be honest, with +2 armor. I mean, he's kind of stuck to what he was going for. And now a large counterattack. 2-2 about to finish. This is DDE all over.
Well, it would appear that actually Hellions are the counter to the Stalkers, as you can see right there, picking off 2 very, very nicely indeed. +1 vehicle weapon coming in. But look at this 2-2 coming in on the infantry, which is just now completed. He could crash down in a brutal timing, and it looks like he might do just that. And here he goes. The question is how much damage can be done. Brilliant point defense drone. Feedback on the point defense drone. Barely ever see that one. Archon focused fire. Down it goes. DDE with a lot of firepower to bring down on Socke's head. Socke's forces crumple.
And it looks like Socke is going to be out and going to the final game. He's lost another expansion.
Can you believe it?
There is no way that he can combat this army. There's too many medivacs, 2-2 upgrades, and wow, we are going to go the distance. We are going to go to that final game.
101 supply to 20 in terms of the size of the army. GG.